What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Driveclub and another top 10 video. Today we're going to be finding out what the top 10 fastest hypercars are in Driveclub. So we start off at number 10 with the McLaren P1. This did a 58.300 on the track, the Autodroma something or other in Chile. That's the track that I've used for this, and the P1 comes in 10th. Now the P1 is pretty fast. It's not one of the faster cars in a straight line compared to some of the others. It handles pretty well though, grips very nicely, isn't really too slidey, which is always good. I mean, that's kind of the make or break thing with a lot of these cars. If they don't grip that well and the speed is kind of just average, like this car is, compared to a lot of the cars, this probably isn't one of the fastest ones. You know, it's pretty decent, but if they are like that, they usually do, you know, if they can grip pretty well, they do okay. In 9th is the McLaren F1 LM, which did a 58.271, very, very close to the P1. Once again, this car maybe, it's not as powerful, I don't believe, as the P1. Maybe a little bit better around the corners, handles a little bit nicer, grips to the road tiny little bit better, and it's just an all-out pretty good car. I'm not the biggest fan of the McLaren F1. I don't know, it looks a little bit dated now, and I'm not a big fan of the whole middle seat thing. It's just a little bit weird, but this isn't a bad car. It's definitely a nice car to drive. I would recommend giving it a go if you haven't got the season pass or just this DLC. Then I would recommend definitely checking it out. In 8th place, the only Lamborghini on the list is the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento with a 58.157. Sorry. Now this car's good. It's not the most, I think it's actually the least powerful car out of all the hypercars, but it's very light. It is like ridiculously light, under 1,000 kilograms, I believe, or maybe not. I think it is actually just under 1,000. So it handles very well. It sticks to the road very, very well. Sadly, it just doesn't really have the top end power of a lot of the other cars, which means it isn't right at the top. In 7th place, I'm getting confused, is the Gumpert Apollo Enraged with a 58.151, so going literally a fraction of a second faster than the Sesto Elemento. Once again, very nice car. This car's okay. I kind of first got introduced to this car in Project Cars. I think, or was it? It may have been another game actually. I'm not sure. It may have been in a Need for Speed, like Most Wanted or something. Not 100% sure. But yeah, the Apollo's not a bad car. It's not, I personally don't think it's the nicest looking car, but it's not terrible, and it definitely is fast and pretty nice to drive. In 6th place we have the Ferrari LaFerrari with a 57.913, so the first car to get under the 58s. This I thought was going to be a pretty good car, and it is. I really do like the LaFerrari. This is the first game I've ever driven in, because it's not actually in that many games. It's in the crew, but I've just never bought it for some reason. But yeah, LaFerrari, a very nice car, pretty grippy, got a lot of speed. It is a good car. I mean, this is a contender with the P1, as you can tell by this, on this track anyway. The LaFerrari is a little bit quicker than the P1, not by much though, only about half a second, so it isn't too bad. In 5th place is the Pagani Zonda R with a 57.884, the first circuit car of many, of 3. I think there's 3 circuit cars on this list. Yeah, the Zonda is good. It's a good car. It's planted. It has a pretty decent amount of power. I don't know why. I mean, I expected this to maybe go a little bit faster. Maybe compared to some of the cars, it doesn't have as much power. I mean, this thing's light. It accelerates pretty well. The grip is okay. It's not the grippiest thing, but it is pretty good with grip. So, I don't know, I expected this thing to go maybe a little bit faster, but it definitely isn't bad at all. In 4th place, the Hennessey Venom GT with a 57.879, once again going just fractionally faster than the Zonda. This is a nice car. Now, this is probably the fastest car. I'm pretty certain that this is the fastest car in a straight line on this list, maybe with one other contender. But the problem with this car is it's not that grippy. Because it's going so fast around the corners, it doesn't grip amazingly. I mean, it might just be because you're taking a lot more speed into the corners, probably what it is, but it isn't the grippiest thing, not the easiest thing to drive. It is a bit of a handful going at higher speeds, but still, it sets a pretty damn good time. In 3rd place is the McLaren P1 GTR, a 57.271. This is a very nice car, the circuit version of the McLaren P1. I did a video, this versus the FXX K a little while ago, and yeah, it's a very nice car. I didn't use any of the KERS or anything in this because I didn't really feel like, I didn't know when to use it to make it fair, so I just didn't use any of the KERS. Same with because I think the P1 has KERS as well, I don't know, it's a standard P1. Is it KERS or DRS, the boost, the nitro, I don't know, whichever one it is. It might be DRS, I don't know. But yeah, I didn't use that, but yeah, the McLaren is a good car. In second place, talking about the FXX K, is the Ferrari FXX K with a 56.868. The first car to get under the 57s is this. It's a very nice driving car, grips fairly well, has a little bit more speed than the P1. I mean, we went over this in the P1 GTR versus FXX K video that I did a while ago. It does have more speed, and maybe a little bit better through the corners. I personally don't know if I prefer this or the P1. This is definitely faster, but I don't know, there's just something about the P1 that I like a little bit more. I don't know what it is really. But in first place is the Koenigsegg 1-1 with a 56.674. I was expecting this car to win, I will be honest. I was expecting this car to win, or at least be in the top 3, and it did win. It's ridiculously fast. I think this may actually be the most, is it the most powerful car now, or is it the fastest, just fastest in a straight line? I think it might be the fastest in a straight line car at the moment, beating out, you know, the Veyron, and I think even the Hennessey Venom. This is a ridiculously good car, it's ridiculously fast, and I mean, it grips fairly well. It is, if you get it a little bit wrong, it will slide out, but on the most part, it grips fairly well. So anyway guys, there we have it. That is the top 10 fastest hypercars in Driveclub. That is around this circuit, so I mean, you take them to a different circuit, could be a, you know, it could be a different outcome, but with what I've got here on this circuit, the Autodroma Frontera 2 or whatever the hell it's called, it's in Chile, it's like the last section of tracks, that's the outcome. So yeah, if you guys enjoy, please go ahead, like and subscribe. Tell me what other things you want to see me do in Driveclub, and you know, any other games. What other top 10s do you want to see? Do you want to see top 10 sports cars, top 10 performance cars? What do you want to see? So anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.